Hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the House of Peach Warrior Speaks tonight. We do immensely apologize for the show being canceled last week due to unforeseen uh, circumstances, unforeseen circumstances with Smack and Veronica, which are currently out because they are sick, and we want to send prayers and definitely for Smack. She said, tell everybody hi. She's still in the hospital, but just send your prayers and no visitors. Um, but also Veronica, which I call Ronnie, she's sick, but she has what is going around. That's the one thing that Smack wanted me to speak about. I am going to speak about it before we get into uh Miss Tony's testimony. Is the neurovirus that's going around. If everybody's not familiar with it is a stomach virus. They have been talking about it since I think November of last year. I know a few people have gotten it, and is basically if you get it, it's basically symptoms of vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach cramps. Um, it basically comes from the transmission of exposure to contaminated food, water, or surfaces. Now, I think most of the people that are contaminated and have it may be from surfaces. I'm a germaphobe, so I don't like touching gas pumps, doorknobs when I'm out in the public. So I wear gloves when I do that. And one of the things that Smack and I talked about, she said, make sure you tell everybody, please, please wash your hands immensely frequently with soap and water. And I did some research actually on here, and it says that sanitizer it doesn't work as well at all. So the only thing I can think of is to wear gloves, or if you don't wear gloves, disposable gloves, maybe carry a bottle of water and some soap. I don't know. But I know that this virus is knocking people down and out for the count because they're down for weeks. And this is different from the COVID. This is something that can dehydrate you because you're releasing bodily fluids, and um, you're not able to eat, keep anything down. It's a severe stomach virus that could really put you in the hospital. And right now, between Sussex County and Bay Health, I don't know about maybe BB. I don't know about Newcastle, but Milford and Dover hospitals, they're packed. They have no beds at all. So take heed. No one, everybody can't be like me. I only go outside unless it's necessary. If I go to the doctor, pick my daughter up. Other than that, I'm in the house. And if I go to the store or anything, I have my disposable gloves in the car. So please, I don't know to tell you, mask up when you're out. It is something that's serious, and it's going around. But she wanted me to let you know the seriousness of that. And with us as cancer survivors, our immune system is normally not the norm for most people, and we have to be careful. And that's where Veronica's at right now. She got exposed, and she's not doing too good. But again, when you are around someone, just consider that when you say I'm sick, I'm gonna still go to work, or I'm gonna go to a large gathering or a gathering period. Keep in mind that there may be someone where their immune system is compromised, and they can get sick because you're sick because you feel that you need to be in that atmosphere. And it can put them in a serious predicament where they can end up in the hospital. um just take in consideration, uh please, of people that have low immune systems and other illnesses going on that could be affected um, by us not taking precautions to be safe during these times. Um, Again, please say a prayer for Smack, um, that everything goes well and she gets well soon and comes home. And with Veronica, that she gets well, that we'll be able to get back to our normal for the next show. But we're not going to hold you too much too long. Um, we have Miss Tony Cummings, and what we've been doing is trying to bring people on to tell their testimony and learn things from other people and hear other people's stories about what they went through and how they dealt with going through cancer. And I like to introduce Tony Cummins,
Hey, hey.
my boo, my cousin.
Yes. Hi.
I'm thankful for her because she was there for me
Of course.
when I was going through.
Of
So she wants to tell her story, and we're gonna allow her to tell her stories. And any questions, you can always type them in. But definitely, I thank her for being patient and coming on this evening.
of course.
The floor is yours.
All right. Hello, everyone. As she stated, my name is Tony Cummings. I am a esophageal cancer survivor warrior. Right. Um, in 2007, I was living in Memphis. And I had been dealing with acid reflux for years, on medicine, Nexium, omeprazole, everything, taking everything for years, right? So in Memphis, I decided to go to the doctor. Like something has to give because I was tired of throwing up, burning, all the things in my chest. So I went to the doctor. This was in October of 2007. I went to the doctor. They told me that there was a mass, and they did all the scans first. They did all the tests. They did take you through so many tests first: CAT scans, PT scans, PET scan, everything. They did an upper endoscopy on me where they took a microscope and looked down my throat, where they found a mass. The mass, they did a biopsy on it. It wasn't cancerous at the time. It was called Barrett's esophagus, and that is the stage before cancer. So, like I said, that was October of 2007. Um, so my that doctor referred me to an oncologist. At that time, I didn't know what an oncologist was. I didn't know it was a cancer doctor. I just knew I was going to a specialist to get this mass out. So the whole time, the oncologist was telling me the surgery that he needs to do to remove the mass. It was very overwhelming. I was in Memphis with four daughters, a single mom, actually three. One was in college. A single mom, no family down there. Just had my church family. Um, he was telling me that he had to do the surgery, which would be I I would be down at least 6 months to a year. Um, I couldn't do that by myself, so I moved back to Delaware in December of 2007. January, I started doing all the tests again up here in up here in Delaware. Um, Went to the doctor, did all the cake scans, everything. January 25th of 2000, I'm sorry, I said 2007, it was 2009, 2008 first. I mean 2009. 2010 is when was diagnosed January 25th, 2010 of stage 1 esophageal cancer. So from October to January, that's how fast the cancer had gotten there. And luckily, I did go when I did because they caught it in the first stage. Um, so that was January 25th. I was diagnosed. I weighed about close to 200 pounds. So they set my surgery date up. It's the same surgery that the doctor in Memphis told me I would need. They set the surgery up for April the 9th. From that time to April 9th, I lost over 20 pounds from stressing. Um, I got the surgery April 9th. Of course, they still did all the scans and everything. The cancer came from acid reflux, which I would have never thought because doing the research and hearing from the doctors, they said that esophageal cancer is known in white men over 50. And I was none of that. I was only 37. I'm black and I'm a woman. So it was hard. Um, April 9th, they did the surgery. They removed 2/3 of my esophagus, part of my stomach. Um, I was in the hospital for 22 days. Um, I got out the hospital. I was on a stomach tube, medicines, everything, still going through the doctors. I had got down to 142 pounds, um, which was really scary because I'm always like a healthy woman. Um, so that was like, it was a short, I can say it was a short period of time that I had cancer, but it seemed like it was forever. That January to April was the longest time ever that it was just, life was just moving so slow. Um, so yeah, I became a survivor on April 9th, 2010. Um, I do a lot of speakings because I want people to know that, first of all, cancer don't discriminate, right? And then
No.
the way I got cancer, nobody would never know. You would never think that you would get cancer that way. When I went to my primary doctor, she even said that she never met anyone that got cancer that way. It was just they read it in the textbooks. So I was basically like their test dummy because they were putting me through a lot of medications, just testing, doing a lot of things. Um, but April this year, I'll be 15 years survivor. Um, I do a cancer survivor fashion show to give back. It's a fundraiser to give back. I was giving back to Milford Relay for Life. But when COVID started, they stopped doing that. So I now give to St. Jude in the name of one of my survivors that walk in my show, Miss Jordan. She's a young lady that had cancer, and she went to St. Jude. Well, she still goes to St. Jude for her checkups too. So I give back to that. I just want everybody to be aware of your body. Pay attention to your body. Like I said, I had acid reflux for the longest, and all that time it was just eating up my esophagus. Um, and I didn't know. I'm just thinking, okay, I always carried a big thing of Tums. It was good. Actually, I still do because I still go through acid reflux, the throwing up, um, everything. They still doing tests and I'm still a test dummy, but I'm here. I'm blessed to be here. I I live life to the fullest now. I work, take care of my grandbabies, enjoy my grandbabies, and I'm just blessed to be able to be here to do all that with my grandbabies. I love my children too, but ain't not like my grandbabies. Um, so after the surgery, being discharged from the hospital, like I said, I did have a feeding tube. I was hooked up to. I couldn't eat. I would eat probably an egg and would throw that up. Um, I it was life changing. Constant pain. I have neuropathy from the cut that they did on my right side to remove my stomach. They damaged some nerves, so I deal with constant pain. Um, I still eat like a bird because my stomach is not as big anymore, so I don't eat as much. But I got my weight back up though. Um, Definitely got that back up. I'm over past where I was, but I didn't let that, like, cancer, having cancer discourage me. I got bored because I'm a single I was a single mother, and I always worked to take care of my kids. I've been working since I was probably about since I moved to Delaware, 12 years old. Um, but I couldn't just sit around and my kids was going to school. So I was like, I'm gonna go to school too. So I enrolled in college, and I just kept going. I got a associate's degree, then a bachelor's degree, then two masters to carry on because they were the jobs was paying for it. So I'm going to take advantage of it. So I did that. Started going to school just so I won't be sitting in the house being depressed because I wasn't the same Tony that I was in 2007, 2009. That wasn't, it wasn't me. I was depressed. I was like, with my depression, I did a lot of like going out. I wanted to go out every night if I could, just or watching somebody kids brought me comfort. Um, I just it just wasn't me, and I wasn't happy. I started therapy. I I don't want nobody to think that therapy is not good. Therapy helped me a lot. Therapy and my faith in God that carried me through. If it wasn't for them, well, especially the faith in God. If it wasn't for that, I don't know where I would be right now because it was a very traumatic experience. Um, I would never want anybody to not be aware. That's why I think that's my purpose here. That God spared my life to bring about awareness. Like I said, I do the fashion show. I have I bring about awareness with that. People speak about their cancers, and it's just a day that survivors can just be themselves, do what you want to do. It's We're celebrating you. So if you know anybody that wants to be in the show,
There you go. I was gonna tell you to speak on it. Let them know about your plug your fashion show, and we got some things once she's done. But talk about your
so the
fashion show.
fashion show will be April the 5th this year. I do it every year around my cancer anniversary. My anniversary is April 9th, so that be my way of celebrating my anniversary. So this year is April 5th at the Milford Senior Center from 6 to 10. Flowers will be made this week. Tickets can always be bought. You just reach out to me. Cash App Tony Cummings, TONIECUMMINGS, or just hit me up. We can always meet up or you can get tickets or whatever. But April 5th, Cancer Survivor Fashion Show, Milford Senior Center, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's very chill. We have entertainment. Your food is catered. Raffles, vendors. It's just a nice time for cancer survivors to let their hair down and just have fun. And that's what we do. Um, I don't know. I think that's it. Like I said,
I don't want to cut you off. What I'm gonna do is have Tony when this podcast is attached to Facebook and we share it, and that's what I would like and love for you all to do. Like and share
mm,
this um podcast tonight to reach other people. Um, so we can get other people in to tell their stories
yeah,
and talk about things that as Black Americans, women, there are men too that have had cancer that we need to put on this platform to tell their story, give their testimony. But definitely with Tony's information about the fashion show, I've been in it what 2 times or so, and I got
yeah.
sick, and it's been a couple years, and then COVID. But I liked it. It's bringing everyone out um, that are cancer survivors. Even if you don't want to participate, still
Yes,
come, feel the
yes.
atmosphere, meet other people, and there is vendors. But we will make sure that that information is put into the post with her information, where you can get tickets, and the location and everything again. Um, how long you been doing this, Tony? What's
So this will be my 6th year doing the fashion show. I did miss a year because of COVID. And they wasn't letting people do the buildings and everything, only a certain amount of people. So I did miss a year, but this will be my 6th year, but I'll be celebrating 15 years in the organization that does the Cancer Survivor Fashion Show. I have is periwinkle blue and a pink ribbon too. Um, and
Uh,
that
yeah, I can't say it. I always forget it. I wanted you to say that.
periwinkle blue and a pink ribbon too. That name comes from me and my dad. So esophageal cancer is periwinkle blue, the color, and of course breast cancer is pink. So I had esophageal cancer, and my dad had pink.
And that's what I wanted you
Yes,
to touch on, even though he's not here to tell his story.
yes, he had breast cancer. We actually had the cancers that should have been switched, but it is what it is. Yeah, so he had cancer. It's been almost over 20 years ago. It was breast cancer. He's a survivor too. He's in my show. My daddy tried to not to be in it because I can't. I don't want to walk up. Yes, you are. I make him do it every year, and he'd be so happy when he does it. Um, so yes, periwinkle blue and a pink ribbon too. My sister gave up that with that name because she's a little creative. I'm not. Um, so if you hear that name, you know it's me. Support me. So um, I like to do a lot of things, but my main thing is to give back. Like I said, it's a fundraiser. The fashion show is a fundraiser. So I'm not, and I don't have sponsors. Let me put that out there. I don't have, I do everything
Hmm.
myself. Um, so it's not like I'm getting any benefit.
But if someone wants to sponsor her, not to cut
However,
her off, huh?
however, comma, if there are people out there that would like to sponsor Periwinkle Blue and a Pink Ribbon too, please contact me. Um, I say it every year. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Because
Yep.
it's too
Yes.
much. But I get I get gratification from doing it because I'm telling you, every year somebody come up to me at the end like, I appreciate this. I'm so glad you're doing this. It's always something positive somebody tells me, and that just makes me proud. So I'm going to keep going until I can't go no more. And hopefully, when I do go on, my children can finish it out. So, yes, again, sponsors, hit me up if you really thinking about cancer survivors. If you're a cancer survivor, you know anyone, like Lisa said, if you don't want to be in the show, just come support. You don't even have to buy a ticket because that's how I am. I just want you to come, be a part of us, be there. You can have one, sit at one of my reserved tables. That's how much I want. That's how bad I want you to come and just enjoy the night. So, yes, April 5th, Milford Senior Center, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Periwinkle Blue and a Pink Ribbon 2, sixth annual Cancer Survivor Fashion Show.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. And we will have her information again. Have her put that information onto the Facebook, share in the comments or
Mm,
something. Again, like and share this because it could be someone out there. It's not just about our platforms, breast cancer, it's all types of
yes.
cancers, but definitely hearing someone have esophageal cancer from on this side, which is not normal, as she says. Um, but to get some information out of it, definitely I appreciate that, Tony, for coming on, telling your story, and plugging your fashion show. Again, April 5th, she'll put that information in. We'll put it in so you have it. Get your tickets. They're not expensive at all, and you enjoy your evening because it's really nice to just see people come out of their shell that's going through cancer or still going through and still want to be in the fashion show, and and have people hear their story. And even when she allows people to tell, two people or so to tell their story at the event. um, if you don't have anything to do, or even just supporting someone, or you sitting at home, come out, come out, get your tickets. I don't
Yeah,
think anything is sold at the door. Never did.
$20,
But I
food.
definitely appreciate that. We definitely thank Tony for being on. Um again, like, share um, the podcast, Houses of Peach, Warrior Speaks. Again, say prayers for Veronica and
Yes.
Smack. But I do want to plug our event, which is basically Smack, for her to be able to give her testimony, because she has a testimony. She's she don't look like what she's going through, but she's good. She's God. She tell you God don't play
Oh,
about her.
great.
But the Faith and Fight Cancer Warriors Journey brunch. That's something we have been posting. It will be February 22nd from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Tony will be speaking, myself, Veronica. Smack is the actual host, and she'll be telling her story and her journey. And we have some other speakers that we are adding that are cancer
Mm-hmm.
survivors. Uh, and I think I want to say is Pastor Bogarty. She's the
Mm-hmm.
sponsor and spearheading this with Smack, giving us the opportunity to do this, to have people come out, and again, to hear the stories and hear testimonies and get information and resources, things that people need of in our community, that are not aware of where to go or what to do. This is why we wanted to do the podcast, so this helps a lot of people out. And a lot of people are kind of private, and I understand
Yes.
that. And I was like that when I first had my first cancer back in 2002. um I didn't say much at
Mm-hmm.
all, because you don't want people to know what you're going through, or you know um I think my thing was, I didn't want people to shed light on me because I lost all my hair. And I think that time I was so vain about my hair, because my
Well,
hair was long, like, I know, down my back, to past the middle of my back, and people always knew me for hair. And then when I didn't have any hair, I didn't let myself freely let people see me with a bald head. But this time around, when I got cancer a couple years ago, I didn't care, because I was mature, and I said that God brought me through another cancer, and I'm here for a reason, so hair can
yes.
grow back. It grew back. It may be
Mm-hmm.
thinner, but it grew back. But I'm blessed. But I think the reason why I didn't, because I didn't want to draw attention to myself. And I think a lot of people want to stay in the background and never want to tell their story, because they don't want to be thrusted into
Mm-hmm.
uh a situation where they got to talk about it, or they embarrassed. There's nothing to be embarrassed about
Right.
at all. And you never know. And someone told me, what brought me out of that situation was, someone said, your story can help somebody. You
Mm-hmm.
never know what, by you telling your testimony, you could be helping
Yeah.
someone else. And I thought about it. And then one day I was just sitting around, I think I was in the hospital talking to someone, I think a lady, and I was talking to her, we was talking about it, and I got on the thing like, yeah, I'm a cancer survivor. And she like, I would have never looked at you and don't look like nothing's wrong with you. I'm like, no, no. I said, no one would know. No one would know that Tony's is a cancer survivor, or myself being a two-time cancer survivor. And I just like, you know what? People need to hear this story, because when you tell your story, then somebody has a story that they would have never told, and I'm sitting there listening to their
Mm-hmm.
story. Like, man, if I didn't say anything to you, you would have never opened up,
Yeah.
and you just wouldn't tell anybody. And I know along the way I helped many of the
Mm-hmm.
people open up and start to put their story out there, their testimony, because God don't bring you take you through it and bring you out of it for you to sit there and not to tell your
Mm-hmm.
story.
That's why.
And that's what I feel. And Smack is not here, but it's funny. Tony is my cousin, but Smack always say, man, Lisa, my sister, she's my, my mentor. I'm gonna tell you, Tony was there, and she got mad with me at one point. Not mad, but she like, why did you tell me?
Well,
Yeah. And it so happened, I think she ran into me, but she was there after the fact when I was diagnosed this second time for breast cancer, this time breast cancer. And when she found out, she's like, I would have been at the doctor. And she, matter of fact, where the doctor was, you worked
right in,
right in that area, right in
yep.
that area. And she's like, why you tell me? And when I got diagnosed, I was in that room by myself. So I didn't have any support. I went by myself because I'm the strong Black woman,
Mm.
always been, you know. But when I got to that car, I broke down. I broke down, called my dad. He tried to he tried to help me, but he wasn't helping me because he kept saying, just pray about it. That's not what I was trying to hear. I know how
Yeah,
to pray, you know. But when Tony found out, she's like, why didn't you tell me? I could have walked over there.
it sure could.
I wasn't thinking, but I can tell you that she was there when I did go into the hospital to have the
Yeah,
surgery done. And that was just crazy. That, that the overwhelming feeling that I had, and and it turned out
yeah.
okay. Had the mastectomy, reconstruction. I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm
Mhm.
here. But never, never go through a situation and not tell your story,
Right.
because God has a purpose for all of us, not to sit back and not say anything. That's an injustice to the people that may need your story. They may need your encouragement from your story.
Yes. Yep.
And that's what Tony is doing, because she's going beyond that with the fashion show. Her giving back the things that she do is not little. The things that she do uh, pertaining to cancer or events or different things like that. And my purpose is being an advocate for those that are going through, that have been through, and that's no longer
Yeah.
here. Uh, for me to go through cancer twice, I kept saying, well, I don't know what my purpose is, but I guess I found out my purpose this last
Yeah.
time. Yes. This last time, because it was like, I want to explain it to you. You know how you buy a car, you don't see your car until you get your car, and then on the road
Everybody
you see
same.
all everybody with the car. You're like, darn, maybe we just didn't notice. But that's what happened with cancer. Once I got the breast cancer, then after that, it was family member after family member, friends, and they didn't have the knowledge that I had, because I had to find out on my own. It was no one there to give me resources. I had to figure it out with the social worker in oncology, and go beyond that to find these resources for financial assistance, for groups that uh in therapy and things like that, pertaining to people that are going through. And I'm like, you know what, this is my reason, because now everybody says, Lisa, I got somebody that need to reach out to you, or somebody said, Tony said I need to talk to you, or and I'm like, okay, let them know they can reach me, they can hit me in the inbox, and I'll try to help them much as I
Mhm.
can. And I'm here for that. And I'm the knowledge that I have from the journey that I have gone through twice, is no point. I'm here to give that information, because one thing is, if you don't ask, they won't
Right.
tell at all. Um, like again, the last podcast we had, we gave resources. Again, a lot of people didn't know that the hospitals do free mammograms once a month on a certain day. Back when I had this cancer in 2018, I did not know that. I had just lost my insurance. They don't put it out there for you to know. You got to search for it, or someone has to mention
Right.
it to you. And a lot of people that I knew didn't even have that never had a mammogram, and they was past 40 years old.
Wow.
And it was some of the women that I worked with, and it was, I was working for home health care as a trainer for caregivers, and a liaison for the state of Delaware for Money Files person. And the women that I work with, you can't believe, though the caregivers, some of the women in office had never had a mammogram and they was over 40 years old. They didn't get serious until they found out I had breast cancer. And then they was like, you know, what do I do? And I had to provide them that information. So I'm saying to you, now I think with the law, the basic routine wellness visits are free. They have to provide that. So mammograms, routine doctor visits. I know they charge. I know they say they free, but I guess you still got to pay for the doctor's time. But those things are not mandatory, but are given freely so that people can keep up on their health. But be persistent. Be persistent, and I'm gonna say that strongly because I was misdiagnosed the first time I got cancer. And 3 years I lived with cancer, didn't know I had cancer because the doctor said there was nothing wrong with me. Do not back down. Do not throw in the towel. You may get frustrated, but there is always another doctor somewhere else that if you got to go to the second, the third, fourth, do what you have to do because it's your life. And what people fail to say, I just told someone today and yesterday, I think I told Smack, doctors, we got some good doctors, and there's some doctors that just look at us as a
Mhm.
number. But they forget that the ones that's cocky that I've encountered, I tell them, uh, I don't work for you. You work for me. Because without us, they would not have a
Right.
job. So to come in there and be cocky and tell me this is why we're the doctor and that's why we got this and that. Okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if I'm asking you to do something and I'm feeling the pain, don't tell me there's nothing
Right.
wrong with me. So be persistent. Don't throw in the towel because that doctor that told me that, I just wonder back then how many people
Other.
died
Yep.
or yeah, seriously got ill because he told them there's nothing wrong with them. I worked for Cigna Healthcare in the medical billing for 3.5, 4 years before I went to Verizon. And I know how that whole thing with CT scans, MRIs, they work because they cost money.
Hmm.
And their doctors do get kickbacks. I've seen it. They pick and choose and they tell us, oh, tell them they can't. And it goes to the predetermination for the doctors in the facility and Cigna Healthcare to say what is covered and what's not. It's like playing Russian roulette with people's lives. That person that needed that, like me, that needed that CT scan, they wouldn't give it to me. I didn't get it until I went back to the hospital after the doctor said, you going back to work. There's nothing wrong with you. I knew something was wrong with me. And back then, before it was Bay Health, it was Kent General. I sat in that emergency room 7 hours. I didn't care. Somebody was going to see me. So never throw in the towel, never listen to your doctor. And when they pushing you with all these medications,
Hmm.
be careful. Be careful of what they give you and take. Because if you on one medication and you taking it and they tell you to stop and take this one, you don't know what it's going to do or what reaction you're going to have.
Yep.
And it's true. Correct, Tony? It's
It's
truth.
definitely true. And the side effects and everything, it's crazy. I'm still living like with memory loss because of a medicine I was on, a medication I was on when they diagnosed me with cancer. My kids get mad at me all the time because I really honestly don't remember a lot of stuff.
And that's what some of the things I feel like, not us getting old because we over 50, we got more behind us than ahead of us, but because we had met that line, my brain, sometimes I'll be talking to the people and I'm like, I stop, and that wasn't normal
Mm-hmm.
for me. It's like what she's saying is true. The medications, going through cancer and doing the chemo gives you chemo brain. I still have it. And yeah, my daughter and people get upset with me, but it's truth in that. I can't help it. Like you would tell me something and I go do something and I get sidetracked. I don't even remember. I
Yep.
forgot. It's not just being at the age I'm at, but it's more because I wasn't like this a couple years ago at 45 when I first got diagnosed and had surgery. I wasn't like this.
Yeah.
It wasn't. So again, um I want to let you all know, please like and share. Definitely join us on these podcasts when we put it out. Because your information can help too. Something we may not know, or something you want to add, or if you want to are interested in being on the show, you have a story, reach out to us through the Facebook inbox, Smack, Veronica, or myself. Again, we have the Faith and Fight Cancer Warriors Journey brunch February the 22nd from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. to listen to our testimonies and to hear Smack's story and to meet other survivors. And even if you're not a survivor, family members are important too,
Mhm.
because you need that
Or
support.
yes.
And if your loved one is no longer here and you still want to be involved, come out. We still want to hear the
Yes.
stories. And again, like I said, my purpose is for the ones that are going through, been through, and the ones that are no longer
Yes.
here. So again, I want to thank Tony for definitely coming on, giving her insight, giving her information. Everything we spoke about will be tagged or put in the comments connected to the podcast. I like to thank House of Peach um, for sponsoring and supporting us doing this podcast. And hopefully, I'm definitely not hopefully, I pray as we do this more that it grows and it gets out there to more people. And we're going to be bringing on other special guests, people that run organizations that help people out in these situations every day. So I would definitely like you all to stay tuned in. Um, and definitely again, keep prayers coming and going up for Smack
Yes.
and Veronica get well. And again, this norovirus is not a joke. And again, if it's not coming from the food that you're eating, it's got to be coming from the things you're touching, the surfaces or something. And like I said, when you're out in public, I'm funny. Shopping carts, doors. If I ain't got a glove, I'll take my my arm like this and
Mhm.
put and I know I have to wash it. But yeah, but I'll try to do whatever I can to prevent it. And Smack said, sis, you been anywhere? No. Ever since that weather was like single digits, like the beginning, I've been in the house. You can't get me to go outside. So I would just say take as many precautions as you can um, to prevent getting this illness. And again, I would like to thank Tony for coming on.
Thank you.
And I love you,
I
boo.
love you.
And until the next time, sending prayers out and blessings up.
Yes.
Thank you all very much. And y'all definitely have a great night.
You too, Mama.
Thank you. Bye.